All right, man. You already know what time it is. 3 disturbing true basement horror stories by Mr. Nightmare. Yeah, man. Basements have always been scary as hell, dogs. Down in the ground is dark. You don't never know what's down there till you go down there. I mean, you're supposed to know what's down there, but you don't always know what's down there. And people be having little horror experience happen to them down in the basement. We got 3 of them right here on this video Mr. Nightmare is about to tell us about. So, hey, man, let's go ahead and get right into this. Show what I love by dropping a like on the video. Now, without further ado, let's get it. Oh no, we got the sound effects already, man. Story 1 by Fletch. All right, Fletch.
When I was a kid, I had an irrational fear of our basement.
Oh, this when he was a kid too?
If I do say so myself, our basement was kind of scary for a kid. It was a pretty big basement. There was an L-shaped couch right in the middle of the basement that sat right in front of a wooden support column.
Trying to imagine it.
In front of the couch was the big old box TV we had down there, which had all of our video game consoles plugged into.
Oh, you had a little setup down there.
As a big circle that went around the couch, basically.
Okay.
There was a booth and table in one corner, an old bar in the other corner, which had the door to the laundry room behind it, and then in the other corner, closest to the stairs, was the doorway to my dad's little workout room. My dad rented out the upstairs of the house to an old lady.
Your basement was set up,
so we only had access to the first floor and the basements.
Oh, okay.
My dad would usually hang out in the living room on the first floor, hence why our video games were all downstairs on the crappy TV. My dad didn't really hang out down there.
Right.
I'm the youngest sibling. I have 2 older brothers. I was anywhere from 6 to 8 years old when this happened.
Okay.
My older brothers weren't home, so they must have been having play dates with other kids.
Play dates.
Just my mom and I home at the time. My dad was likely at work. Usually I'd be playing video games with my brothers in the basement, so I wouldn't be scared. But since I was alone, I remember being kind of creeped out as I walked down the stairs. That basement door sucked because it wouldn't stay open. By default, it would just slowly creep shut unless something was propped in front of the door to keep it open. So it just made me feel even more isolated from the upstairs and my mom.
Okay.
I was playing whatever old video games I was into at the time, alone on that gray fluffy couch. Any little sound in the basement would make me pause my game and look in whatever direction I heard it. There would always be creepy sounds that would come from the laundry room.
I've been there.
I grew to expect them. They'd still sometimes creep me out. They were usually familiar sounds though, and so when I heard an unusual sound come from inside the laundry room,
hey man,
my game. It wasn't the sound of the laundry machine.
That was right in my damn ear. That scared me.
The sound of something dropping to the floor and bouncing once or twice.
Oh, hell no.
I remember jumping off the couch and running upstairs to find my mom, saying there's someone in the basement. And I remember my mom's comment.
Oh, I thought he was saying his mom said it.
What happens, and then explaining to me that nobody is down there. To make me feel better, she went back down to the basement with me, and she opened the door to the laundry room, turned on the light, and looked inside for a few
He said it to his mom.
Then she shut the door and said there's no one in there. So naturally, I felt better, and she went back upstairs, and I went back to playing video games.
Okay.
I can't remember how much time passed before I went back upstairs to eat a snack. My mom was already preparing dinner. I remember it being dark out now, which only added to my fear of the basement.
Play little video games, get some dinner.
2 small windows, which did allow some light in during the day. So at night,
don't tell me you're about to see somebody peeking through the window
down there. I did end up going back down there though, and then eventually I heard the sound of the heater in the laundry room turn on. Only it was extremely loud.
That happens automatically though, right? Like the furnace?
The laundry room door was now open. I got off the couch and slowly walked to the laundry room door. It was pitch black inside of there. I was scared to turn on the light. I just wanted to shut the door.
Right.
I gathered up enough courage to run at the door and slam it shut and then run back to the couch.
Okay.
For some reason, I just felt safer on the couch. I guess for whatever reason, I didn't once think that it was strange that the door was magically open now, even after my mom had closed it earlier.
Right.
The next thing I remember was hearing a man's voice from behind me. And at first, my brain didn't register what the fuck I just heard.
Fuck no.
It didn't seem real at first. I turned around and saw some sickly looking man sitting in the booth in the corner of the basement with his arm on the table and his head resting on his fist. He said, "My God, how you've grown." I was frozen stiff.
What?
I couldn't even scream. I just looked at the man in the corner with my mouth hanging open, twitching. He slowly stood up in this crooked, hunched over posture, and it seemed like he was slowly starting to walk towards me.
No.
He said, "Your mother won't let me see you guys." I finally was able to scream, and I just bolted for the stairs.
Who the fuck is that?
Mom the whole way up to the kitchen. I slammed the basement door and locked it. I
Okay.
screamed and cried to my mom that there's a man downstairs. I saw the look in her face, and she was petrified.
Uh-huh.
She called 911, and I strangely don't remember what happened in the moments before the police showed up. I just remember a bunch of police officers getting there and
Please tell
going
me
down
he
to
didn't
the
get away.
basement. I was with my mom and a police officer in a safe room while they found him.
Okay.
The man they found was my uncle.
I knew it.
My estranged uncle, my mom's brother, who was basically excommunicated from our family for being a child rapist.
Oh,
My parents
my
never wanted him anywhere near us, nor did my mom want any contact with him.
It was about to
He
get
broke into the house
bad.
and had been hiding in the basement for God knows how long. I didn't even know his face, as the last time I'd seen him I was a baby.
Right?
I haven't seen him since then. He went back to prison for another 4 years for another sex crime.
Okay.
We don't know where he is now.
Man. Hell no, bro. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad he was able to get away, because what? Dog, if I was in the basement already scared something was down there and I heard someone speak, oh my God, I'd shit myself. And that dude was finna get up to some nefariousness, dog. I'm glad the dude was able to get away. Hell no, bruh. Oh my goodness, no. I'm glad the cops got dude though. Sent his ass to jail for 4 more years, but he out again. That's crazy how the people that do them heinous crimes like that really don't go to jail for that long. That shit's ridiculous. But yeah, man. Story was crazy. Let's over to the second story, man. Check something on this other screen.
It was approaching Halloween. We were in the middle of October. My cousin Andy's birthday is October 15th. So for his 12th birthday, we all went over to our Uncle John and Aunt Melissa's house as they were throwing him a family birthday party.
Okay, some birthday action.
Pretty big family, and so our family gatherings can often get hectic. It was still warm outside, so the party was mostly in the backyard. Their house is pretty big, and we always used to love playing hide-and-seek type games because of it. Andy and I are the same age. My older brother Chase is 2 years older than me. He would play with us too. Our other cousins were a little older, but they'd still play with us too. We'd just make teams and take turns as hiders and seekers and give each other time limits to find the opposing hiding team. If you were found, you'd have a chance to run outside to the backyard to be safe if you managed to not get tagged.
Right, that's how that goes.
The whole house minus our aunt's and uncle's bedroom. And I'm not exaggerating when I say there were hundreds of places to hide. In the basement, there's a separate room that's considered Aunt Melissa's fashion room.
Real quick, not to interrupt the scariness of the story. I have a homie that used to have their parents would have 2 houses, but the houses were right next to each other. And so when he would have like a whole, but like I say, he'd have to throw like a little party, like a little birthday party. His parents would like kick in one house and they would let us use the entire other house. This was a big house. Use the entire other house for Nerf gun, dart gun wars, bro. We would have the entirety of the house as a battlefield to just have dart gun wars. Them was some good times, dog. I just had to tell y'all about that. But let's go ahead and keep on hitting play on the video.
In the basement, there's a separate room that's considered Aunt Melissa's fashion room, as we call it. She's a fashion designer, and inside of it, she has a bunch of mannequins with different pieces of clothing she's designed. Some are full body mannequins. Others are just torsos without heads and regular stands underneath them. She also has some studio lights, some official camera equipment, and a green screen drop. We had been playing the game for a little while already. Chase and I were hiding now. We both chose to hide in the basement. Chase
wonder what she did down there.
Section of the basement while I hid in the fashion room.
Oh,
I actually
okay.
grabbed 2 blankets from the ottoman in the basement and brought them into the fashion room. One for me to hide under, and the other one I was going to throw over one of the mannequins as a decoy. With the blanket thrown over it, it genuinely looked like it could be a person hiding underneath.
Okay.
I thought it would be a funny little gotcha moment whenever someone yanked the sheet off of it.
Right.
So I got into my hiding position under a desk in the corner of the room, and I hid under the blanket. Now it was a waiting game. That was honestly a big chunk of the game if your hiding spot was good.
True.
After quite a long time,
see they find you
outside in the main room of the basement as Chase and one of my cousins were laughing and yelling.
I used to laugh too much, bro. People would always find me because I'm laughing
around the
basement.
Close. I heard them then stomping up the stairs. By the sound of it, Chase was trying to make it to the yard without being tagged.
Okay.
But after that,
gotta run back to
base.
base.
In silence for over 10 minutes easily.
Oh.
I was getting uncomfortable in this position and quite honestly bored.
Yeah.
Finally, Chase came downstairs into the room and called my name, and then he said the food was being served outside.
Oh, damn.
So the game was over.
Okay.
I was starving. I hurriedly rushed upstairs.
I'm gonna get some good eats.
Where all the catered food was now out and being served. At some point after eating and having a conversation with Aunt Melissa, I remembered that I totally left those 2 blankets in her fashion room.
Oh.
Most importantly, that I left one over her mannequin, which she would not be happy about. So after going to the bathroom, I went back down to the basement and to the fashion room, where I turned on the light and saw that the blanket was no longer on that mannequin.
No.
Rather, the blanket was covering something else. It appeared to be another mannequin, though this one seemed to be propped in a seated position, which I wasn't aware of any mannequins that were in a seated position.
Ain't no goddamn mannequin.
The closer I got, I started to realize that it was moving.
Ooh, cold chills.
Breathing. On top of that, there was this funky smell that wasn't there before. There was a person under there.
Motherfucker stank?
Who? I laughed and said, "Who is that?" They didn't answer. I felt this feeling of uneasiness growing in my stomach. I looked down to see if I could see the shoes they were wearing, but what I saw was the bare feet of a black person. Nobody at this party was black.
Hold on.
I turned and headed for the door. I rushed.
Hold on. That caught me off guard. My bad. I get it. I get it. It's a party full of white people. You see some black feet. It's like, hold on, what the fuck is going on here? I get it. That shit caught me off guard, bro. Okay. Rewind.
The shoes they were wearing.
Let's go.
What I saw was the bare feet of a black person. Nobody at this party was black. I turned and headed for the door. I rushed back outside and said to my uncle to call the police. There's someone in the basement.
There's a black man in the house.
And panic quickly ensued. My uncle and a few others rushed down to the
I'm just being
basement.
goofy, don't
I
mind me.
followed behind. When we got to Aunt Melissa's fashion room, the blanket was now on the floor, and whoever was underneath it was gone.
What? He got away.
Up and down, someone was just underneath it, explaining the bare feet and the smell. A bunch of family members searched the whole house, and ultimately my uncle called the police, taking my claims very seriously.
How he get away and nobody see him?
Showed up. It was kind of a whole scene, and everyone at the party was concerned. Neighbors even came out to see if everything was okay. Every possible hiding place was checked, and no one was in the house. I didn't make it up though. It was genuine what I saw. I just wish he did turn up so that everyone would have seen I was right. Even if mostly everyone did believe me, I still just wanted them to see what I saw for themselves.
Yeah.
During parties, they'd leave the doors unlocked since families circulating in and out for hours. So it's no shocker that someone off the street could have just walked right in. Maybe a homeless person, which would account for the smell.
Yeah.
The whole thing still just felt so crazy, and it's
I guess
a
that
haunting
makes sense.
memory for sure.
Damn, bruh. Yeah, that would have messed me up too. Maybe that is what happened though. Maybe somebody homeless just happened to waltz in and they hid under the thing. I don't know why they did that. But then, you know, when he got caught, he decided he had to go ahead and get up out of there and he escaped. Maybe he wasn't even up to no bad intentions. He just wanted to get inside for a little warmth. I don't know, bruh. That would freak me out though. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure the white folk was scared. You know what I'm saying? Probably full of white folk. You see some black feet. What the hell going on up in here? And it stank? Oh, no. But, yeah, that would be a scary experience too. We got last story. The last story, usually the craziest one, is anonymous. Of course, he always makes it anonymous. Let's get it.
This story takes place when I was 9 years old. I'm now almost 25. I was at my great-grandfather's house in Idaho during Christmas break, visiting family and whatnot. This was also the first year my mom's boyfriend came with us because my parents had divorced the summer before.
Bad job.
My grandpa used to live in a small Indian reservation town, which has about 1,000 people. My grandpa's house was a small 2-story house that had a lot of field and forest. It was a beautiful house and property, and I miss it dearly.
Okay.
About a day after we got there, my aunt, uncle, and cousins who lived in the same town as us came and surprised us by driving 10 hours to visit with us as well after telling us they weren't going to be able to because of work.
Oh, so I was about to say a surprise 10-hour drive?
My cousins and I were close. One night, my uncle, my step-aunt, and my cousin, who lived just next door to my grandpa, came over and visited with everybody.
Okay.
The grown-ups started talking grown-up talk. So me and my cousins, Sam, who was 9, Evan, who was 12, and Kennedy, who was 10, decided to go downstairs to the basement and play our monster game.
Ooh.
The way this game was played is where Sam and Evan were monsters, and they hid down in the basement with the lights completely off.
Okay.
And Kennedy and I would have to find them. They would make noises, so we could kind of have easy access to find them.
You gotta find the monsters.
Then if we got near them, they would make monster noises and chase Kennedy and I.
Okay.
We had to go back to the top of the stairs, which was our safe zone.
Okay.
I know it was a kind of stupid game thinking about it now, but at the time, it was pretty scary.
Yeah, it was probably fun.
Anyway, Sam and Evan went downstairs to hide, and they told us to wait 2 minutes before going down to start finding them. Kennedy and I waited upstairs for 2 minutes, and then we went downstairs to find Sam and Evan.
Okay.
Kennedy went down first, and we started looking for them. We just did our normal thing for this game. It was completely pitch black downstairs. The only light down there was the pellet stove and the moon shining through the window.
Ooh.
Although we knew it was just our cousins hiding, it was still pretty scary just because it was pitch black and completely silent.
Right.
About 5 minutes later, Sam and Evan jump out and scare us, and then they chased us.
Okay.
We go back upstairs and decided to play another round.
Pretty normal so far.
We did our normal thing by waiting for 2 minutes, then heading downstairs. This time, I went first.
Ooh.
As we went downstairs, we heard Evan or Sam hit the wall, which made me jump. We continued walking down when I noticed a figure standing outside the window. I stopped walking and put my hand out to stop Kennedy. She got a little irritated and said, "Come on, why are you stopping?" I didn't say anything, but I pointed towards the window, showing her the
about to say, what you mean you ain't say nothing?
Kennedy noticed the figure. Then she whispered, "Sam, Evan, we need you to stop the game. There's someone standing outside."
Okay, they're
Sam
outside.
responded to us. I figured he would have wanted to continue the game and not say anything. He said, "You guys are lying. You're just scared." I was starting to get upset because they wouldn't believe us.
Right?
Guys, seriously, look at the window.
I am trying to save your damn
And
life.
we saw Sam and Evan emerge from underneath the ping pong table my grandpa had for us, and they looked up. Evan just laughed a little and called us pussies, saying it's probably Uncle Stan just outside smoking.
You
I knew it
dumbass.
wasn't my Uncle Stan because he always smoked outside on the front porch, right by the front door. I then told Evan that. Sam then said very annoyed, then it's probably Grandpa just checking out the house because you know him. He's always checking to see if the house has any problems.
Yeah, sure, just
You guys are
standing
worried
there.
About it, then go upstairs and check.
Oh my God.
I then go upstairs to check, but I pretend that I'm just looking for something. I go into the living room, and everyone I knew that was there were all in the living room. It wasn't my Uncle Stan,
Big
or
chillin'.
my grandpa, or anybody. Everyone was sitting in the living room. My stomach dropped. There was definitely someone out there.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell the adults because I was worried they wouldn't believe me.
Oh
I go
my.
back downstairs as I'm shaking, and I tell them, "Guys, everyone's in the living room. No one is missing. There is someone out there." Sam and Evan finally realized this wasn't a joke, and their jokish facial expressions turned into scared expressions.
Yeah. Yeah, take it
They
serious.
began to cry a little. I
Oh
told them
my
not to
God.
make too much noise.
Ain't no cry.
We all went to the top of the stairs to figure out what we should
What's
do.
that gonna do?
Of course, Sam and Evan were giving dumb ideas like shooting the guy or something.
Looking
We didn't
at.
want to tell the adults, so we just stayed at the top for 5 minutes. Then we went back down. When we were back down, the figure was gone.
Okay, I figured that was
Assumed
gonna
that the
happen.
figure just left and went their way. We decided we didn't want to play the game anymore, so we would just play ping pong instead. We
Right?
turned the light onto the basement, and when they come on, we noticed the window was cracked open. I thought to myself, was the window cracked open this whole time?
Hell
The
no!
furniture, and my heart suddenly dropped. There was a man in his mid-40s, sitting in one of the sofa chairs, staring at us. We were so scared that we just stood there, frozen. The guy began smiling, all creepy-like at us.
Oh.
Began to stand, and then I yelled, "Run!" We ran up the stairs and slammed the door to the basement. Then we ran into the living room, crying to our family that there was a man downstairs. One of my uncles, who's a cop, went and grabbed one of my grandpa's guns and headed downstairs.
Get the
My uncle came back
blicky!
up after a few minutes and said there was no one down there. We assumed he
Oh.
climbed back out the window and ran.
He climbed out fast?
The adults believed us when we said there was someone down there because outside there were footprints in the snow.
Uh-huh.
It led to my grandpa's driveway. Nothing was stolen downstairs, so that was good. We were all so scared that we just sat with our moms and hugged them.
Mm-hmm.
At night when we went to bed, I was still afraid, so I slept in bed with my mom. My cousins and I haven't played that game since. My grandpa was pretty upset because he thought his windows couldn't be opened from the outside. I was glad that my cousins and I weren't harmed. My grandfather passed away October of 2017. I miss that guy dearly. But ever since that incident, I have always been afraid of going into any basement by myself, even as I've gotten older.
Uh-huh.
Although I haven't been back to my grandpa's in almost a year, I still am scared of that basement, or
Wow.
any basement, to this day.
Damn, bruh. Hey, my man said there will be no basement today. He ain't going back in no basements after that situation. I wasn't going no basement after that either. Shoot. Somebody was standing outside the door. Y'all over there playing around. Somebody, I don't believe you. Oh, it just might be somebody playing around. Somebody, one of the family members outside the door. Then they actually come in and sit down on the sofa, smiling, just looking at you. Like, what the fuck, bro? What you doing? Get out of here. They didn't even catch him either, bro. That's messed up. The only person that got caught was the one in the beginning, who was the person that really needed to get caught, but there ain't no telling what the other people was up to. Like I said, the second story was probably just that homeless dude. Third story, I don't know what that dude was gonna do, but damn, man. Shit crazy. But yeah, man, stay out of the basement. Stay out the basement. That is gonna do it for this Mr. Nightmare story compilation, man. We're gonna, I mean, not we're gonna, but make sure y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna stay tuned, but y'all stay tuned too for the next one that I drop, and I'm gonna stay tuned for the next one that he drop, so that I can drop it for y'all can watch it. Y'all know how that go, goddammit. Sure, I love the video, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, we up out of this thing. This boy Dairu, we signing out. Peace.